Hey everyone, welcome back. And this is my review of Log Horizon Episode 7 entitled Crescent Moon. Oh boy, so... yeah, right when I get through with this summary, I'm going to get right in to my review. And let me tell you, I enjoyed this episode, but there are some things that at Episode 7... is kind of getting me, let's just say, kind of worried that the series won't cover a lot of things in the story that I'm hoping it will now. I'm not sure exactly how many episodes there's supposed to be in total, so let me just check real quick, okay? Okay, it has it on here as 25. If that's correct, then, okay, still a long ways left to go. I mean, right here on the episodes I'm seeing, episode 10 will be December 7th, so, you know, there's still a while. It's still going to be a while yet, if it's truly going to be 25 episodes long, because, you know, obviously we're not even halfway through it yet, but, you know... still, though, because most series, even if they are 25, 26 episodes long, they still start covering, they would still start covering a lot of the things I'm going to discuss after the summary, alright? So I just wanted to get that out there. I enjoyed this episode, but, yeah, well, I'll just discuss that more later on. Anyways, Naotsugu, Shiro, and Hien begin hunting ingredient monsters in the Imperial Garden Forest, while the girls, builders and cooks of the Crescent Moon Alliance, along with Nyanta, begin preparing themselves for one of Shiro's plans. At the same time, Henrietta and Shiro task Marielle with approving an exorbitant amount of budget requests for the guild as part of Shiro's plan to obtain his requested 5 million gold funding by taking advantage of the fact that the world of Elder Tale has no strict ruling on how currency should be obtained. The following day, the Crescent Moon Alliance opens a food booth in the city, and despite initial reluctance from the citizens, becomes an instant hit with word of their delicious food quickly spreading throughout the city. Afterwards, the stall manages to make over 40,000 gold in profit, despite their sales being restricted by the total amount of citizens living in Akihabara, in addition to the total number they can serve daily. Shiro then leaves the next stage of his plan to Henrietta before he informs Minori of their progress and urges her to wait a while longer. That night, Shiro and Nyanta meet with Shojiro, the master of the caravan of the West Wind Guild and former Debauchery Tea Party member, and asks for his aid, which he gives to Shiro without hesitation. Finally, Shiro begins the second stage of his plan the next day. And that sums up what happened in this episode, basically. Alright. So. Now, like I said before, I did enjoy this episode. It was enjoyable. The few fights that we got in this episode were enjoyable. Well, there were few and far between in this episode, though, and the comedic portions I thought were genuinely funny, as always in this series. Although Shiro, to a lesser extent Shiro, but especially fucking, what's her name? That one tall, purple dressed woman, I forget her name, was acting really creepily in this episode. Mainly to two people, really, to Marielle with all the fucking paperwork, and I don't even think it explained exactly what the paperwork was for. And also to Akatsuki making her put that fucking dress on. Really? Like, I don't know, I just thought she acted really creepily in this episode. Wasn't a big fan of that myself. But anyways, though, now let's get into the things that I really want them to address in this series in the future. That even a series of 25 to 26 episodes long will usually start addressing, or at least hint towards them addressing later on. I want them to explain, maybe, and they could probably do this in like one flashback. Alright. Actually, probably they need two. One flashback to explain the backstory of the Crescent Moon Alliance, and one flashback to explain the backstory of the Tea Party. Because we've heard a little bit about both from word of mouth, but we haven't really got the full story yet, and that's something I'm actually kind of interested in, okay? So those are really the two big things that I really hope that they show later on in the series. And in terms of showing the backstory of the Tea Party, I assume that if they do that, they'll probably wait till they get, till Shiro collects all the previous members of the Tea Party. So, I'm not as worried about that because, I'm assuming that he's going to, if they do that, he's going to collect them all first. However, in terms of the Crescent Moon Alliance, there's no fucking excuse right now. They could probably, they could do it in one episode. Honestly, if it's done right, it could be done in one episode. Both of them could be done in one episode. Alright. Excuse me. So yeah, that's kind of something I want them to address. And I really hope that they do. Alright. But other than that, and also, like, it's kind of weird because in this series, like, they don't really seem to be addressing the fact that they're trapped in a game. I mean, they do. They call it the Apocalypse, and they do address it, but it's like they're not even trying to find a way to get out or find out who's behind all this, or they're not even thinking about what it's like for the people on the outside that basically just lost their loved ones, friends and family, to a fucking video game. And this is the type of stuff you would think that they would address. And again, it's going to be fairly lengthy series, 25 episodes long, and if that's correct, then they could very well in the future, but, and if they do, like, that would be really interesting for it to be, like, the final story of the series, in which, if that's the case, they probably do it, like, near the very end, but still, though, I really hope that they address all this stuff in the series, or else it will be a major disappointment for me. And I hope that the characters develop later on, because there's little to no character development right now. Again, it's just episode 7, but still. Anyways, other than that, I really don't think there's anything else I have to talk about for this series, though. It was very enjoyable, or this episode, I mean. It was enjoyable. I enjoyed it, It was mainly just a few fight scenes in order to collect ingredients, the making of food, the distribution of food to the entirety of Akihabara, comedy, and Shiro collecting another member of the old Tea Party, and that's pretty much it. So yes, but anyways, overall, hope you enjoyed this review, guys. See you after, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.